Welcome to the 217 Recovery Podcast. I'm Corey Winfield. Had a great night tonight. The 217 crew went out to the Red Sky stage. It's in Petoskey, Michigan. It was Recovery Notes. And once a month we get together, and it's musicians, it's poets, some comedians even come out. It's people in recovery that have talent. We just have a great time sober. I know, that's crazy, right? Some people are like, you can have a great time sober. Trevor was talking about it earlier, and he was like, man, I never thought I could have a great time sober. He was like, but this is actually a great time. It really is. A lot of people, you get to mingle, you get to meet with them, and there's no fighting. Nobody's getting drunk, looking at somebody's girlfriend. None of that stuff goes on that, normally you would see out in public at a concert or an event like that. But it's a good time, man. A lot of people just coming together in the recovery community. It's not like if you're not in recovery or never been around people in recovery, you might think, oh yeah, those druggies, oh yeah, that guy's got face tattoo, or oh, we heard, he used to drink a lot and he did this and that. Well, we're not doing that right now. We're in recovery. That's what the point of recovery is. I was talking with Derek, and Derek is from Harm Reduction Michigan, but his website's harmreductionmi.com or .org. And he was telling me that they are in Petoskey, but they're based out of Traverse City. But he was saying that they just opened an office in Petoskey like a year ago. But he was telling me that they actually pay people to get their blood tested. Yeah, for Hep C, for HIV, for all kinds of stuff. So you can actually come out, and we're going to have him on in the future. Of course, these recovery events are a great place to mingle and meet people and stuff like that. So we're going to probably get some gear coming soon. We hooked up with Noxus, and it was just a great time tonight. And we're actually appeared on the YouTube video. They streamed the event on their YouTube channel, which is very cool. But we're going to be talking to those folks in the coming future. So stick around for that. And of course, always check our resources site too, because I just asked Derek for all his info, and the logos and stuff like that. We're going to put up on the website. And if you don't know what the resources are, it's 217recovery.com. Up in the left-hand corner, you'll see I think it's 3 little slash marks or whatever. Anyway, you've worked a computer, you know how to get on a website, and you've, of course, worked your phone. You know how that works as well. You can swipe for the podcast, for the video, stuff like that. But you can go right to the resources page from the top left. Click on that, and you'll see the 217 resources, 217 photos. And check out those resources from time to time, though, because they are changing, they're updating, and we're making the site better each and every day. So appreciate the help. I want to say that to the people who have donated. We have a GoFundMe. There's a PayPal where you can donate $10. There's also the Facebook. Now, I guess we're on there as well. So you can donate through Facebook. It's safe. It's secure. And the money is going to, help us keep the website up. That's the first and foremost. We got to get that going for a year, which is going to be phenomenal. And I thank you so much again if you've donated. And if you haven't, or maybe you haven't yet, maybe it's not right time of the month or whatever, any little bit will help, but of course, if you just want to give us $1 billion, we wouldn't be opposed to that. We would spend it in the right way. We would.
Oh yeah.
I'd probably make about $14 an hour.
$14?
Yeah, but I'd be working 24/7. No, just kidding. But we're not using that money to pay ourselves. We're using it for funds, or not funds, but for equipment. Like I said, the website. It'd be nice to have 3 or 4 microphones. It'd be nice to have our own studio, but we're working on stuff like that. But in due time, it'll come. I got a sponsor today, and of course, today I didn't want to make a big deal about it, but today was day 120 sober.
Yeah,
and
right.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Corey.
Thanks, Rob. I got my coin. Went to the meeting, got the coin, and I found a sponsor there, and that was very cool. Very cool guy. It just happened to how God wanted it to happen, and I can't give credit to anybody but God. I mean, nothing happens in this world without him knowing about it and him setting it up. And sometimes he'll test you with it. He'll give you an option, and you're the one who plays that out. And I've been there. And just to get a sponsor on day 120 is awesome. And I'm gonna start diving in again to that. And some people say that AA is not for them, and it's not for everybody. as long as you stay sober and as long as you're around people in recovery, I think is all that really matters. And as long as you didn't drink today, I woke up today, I didn't drink, Rob woke up today, he didn't use a drink, nothing, so we're in a good place. And if you want what we have, you can have it. You just got to make that choice. And it's a hard choice sometimes because what would be your first excuse, Rob? Like, oh, well, I got to go to work tomorrow, or
my first excuse would
come sit over here so people can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Rob's going to sit next to me on this couch.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's your hand, buddy?
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're not.
Yeah, well, what can I say? My hand has a mind of its own. No.
Whoa.
But, a good excuse for me to go out and drink or use would be like, hey, the sun came up.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean, that's a good one. It's sunny today, it's rainy today. I like rainy days, and I like getting drunk on rainy days. But, no, like, what would keep you from going into treatment? Problem's not that bad, or you're not like everybody else. You can manage it, kind of thing.
Yeah. In the past, I always used the excuse where I can do this by myself. I haven't. They say everybody's rock bottom is different, but I haven't reached that point of rock bottom yet, and really I was only fooling myself because at a lot of different points in the past I could have said, this could be potentially rock bottom, but I just always try to rationalize things and fool myself and tell myself that, I'm not a alcoholic, I've never gotten in trouble with the law with alcohol, so therefore I don't necessarily have a problem. Well, there's always, what if finally happened. So that's kind of what made me realize that, something else is going on here, that I need to address. So yeah.
So that got you in there finally, but it's so easy to make those excuses. Mine was, at the end there, because my cousin, my sister, my mom, everybody was telling me, you need to go to a long-term treatment. And I'm like, long-term treatment? I was just in a place for 2 weeks. Like, come on, man. That's a pretty long time. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, you need something 3 months, 9 months. What? You lost your mind. I got stuff to do. I got life to live. I'm not that bad. I know I got a problem, and I know I just can't drink, and that don't take the first drink is such a huge thing for me because I can't. Because once I take that first drink, Rob, it is gone. Like, I am out to sea, just push me out there because I'm not coming back.
Right.
Not till I hit the hospital.
Right.
Not till something bad happens. But for me, though, they were saying go to long term. But my excuse was, I'm going back to school because I want to be a drug counselor. I'm going to help people with problems. And I knew that I kind of needed to be doing something with recovery, but I didn't know what. Counselor sounded good, and going back to school to give you some money. Well, they don't give it to you, but they're going to want it back eventually. But, hey, it was something to do, and it paid my rent. And you know what? I can't afford to not be going to school because, I wanted a place to live, and I didn't mind going to school. But that was my excuse. So there's no way I can go. And a lot of people, it's probably work, too. I can't leave my job, and technically you can. Who was I talking to about that? Was it Matt or Rob? Was it you, Rob? No, it might have been Trevor. I think it was one of the younger guys, but they were like, well, technically they can't fire you. I think it was Trevor. He was like, technically they can't fire you if you go away from treatment. I was like, technically we live in Michigan. So, maybe other states are different, but no, they can fire you for wearing a blue shirt. They can fire you for just firing you.
Yeah.
It was Tuesday.
Yeah, in Michigan. Yeah,
that's a right to work state.
Yeah.
No, it's a right to get fired state for no reason. Like, I lost my job in Benton Harbor because I went away to treatment. And I got out of treatment I went for depression, which I don't know. Alcohol probably has something to do with it. They don't know if it's the alcohol causes depression causes alcohol. I don't know. But alcohol played a factor in so did depression. And I got out of treatment in Grand Rapids. I got out, came back, and they told me I was suspended for 2 weeks, no pay, and been demoted off the morning show there. And my program director duties swiped away. And it was just a game they were playing. And, I filed a thing with the EEOC, and they're like, we know they're lying, but unless they come out and say they fired you for having depression, we can't do nothing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's crock.
Yeah.
So, technically they can, but if you go through it the proper way, I think most employers, and you know what, if they're not willing to work with you, unless you're making a ton of money, that's probably not the job for you anyway. And that's how I looked at it. You know, those people in Benton Harbor, I mean, they were a joke anyway. I don't want to work for those people. I don't want to work for people like that. So,
well, you know, I mean, and that's the thing. We can rationalize in our minds, in our using minds anyway. That you know, like for me, it was the same thing. It finally came to the point where they said, you know what, you need long-term treatment. And at that point, when I finally, when everything came tumbling down, and I was actually involved in an accident, I said, yeah, absolutely, I do need long-term treatment, because the 2 weeks wasn't cutting it, and fortunately, I was able to get the long-term treatment that I needed. You know, and the same thing went for me. I was going to school. I did really well in school. And I was drinking at the time. I wasn't drinking a lot, and that's the thing right there. Again, I would have days where I would go and I would have a beer or two or a drink or two, and that would be it, and I'd be all right. Well, that thinking would work maybe that day, but it wouldn't work every day, you know, because, you know, let's face it, I drank because I like to get the effect of it. And usually it was drinking to get the effect that I wanted, which most of the time really didn't end up good. Didn't end up really bad, didn't end up really good, but eventually it caught up with me. So yeah, as I was saying, I was going to school, doing really well, and got back into what my drug of choice was, and the wheels eventually just started falling off. Had I gone another semester, I wouldn't have been able to graduate with the status that I had, let alone graduate, period. But I did, and still, that was me not realizing, holy crap, you know, I do have a problem, because I'm like, hey, you know, I made it through school, I did well in school, so I must not have a problem. But that's my tricky, messed up, addictive thinking. So it comes in a lot of different forms, a lot of different fashions, and for everybody it's a different situation, you know. But it kind of boils down all to the same thing, is that you can't really get help or receive help if you don't think that you necessarily have a problem.
Right. And Rob and I aren't doctors. We're not psychiatrists. We're not, you know, but what we are is we're people in recovery. We've been there, and this isn't our first rodeo with it. And it's taken all these times for us to finally kind of get it right. And, you know, today we didn't drink, so that's great. You know, people with 20 years, 30 years sobriety will tell you, hey, I got just as much as you. I woke up the same time as you this morning. You know, like every day it's a new day, you know, and sometimes we face those, whether people actually crave it, which I heard you don't really crave alcohol until you had the first drink, but I don't know how that works. But some people, you know, they want the taste of it. I don't have that problem, Rob. I know you don't either. It kind of makes us want to puke, but you know, it's those emotional things that, you know, tug on us that draws us right back in. And it's so easy, and our brains are so messed up that's what we've been doing for 20 years. You know, that's our go-to.
That's the norm.
Yeah, that's what we do, and it's normal for us, you know, and other people don't realize that. They're like, what do you mean that's normal? Well, you're actually abnormal. If you just deal with the problem, you're the one that's weird, because people gamble, people eat, people do so many different things. People go hunting.
People shop. People, you know, everything, it seems nowadays in our society is in excess, you know, and from what I understand, whatever it is, even if it's exercising in excess. Yeah, sex in excess.
In sex and stuff. But anyway, with that, we're going to wrap up today's show. As Rob, thanks for sitting in with me. And
absolutely, again, man.
I'm Corey Winfield. Check out the website, which you're probably on right now, 27recovery.com. and keep the donations coming. Like I said, it's going to help us, and it's going to help us sound better. It's going to help us do great things. And, if one person got something out of this tonight, then, we did our job, and it kept us sober another day. So appreciate you listening, and come back and share it with your friends. See you.
Peace.